always know where I'm headed, but I always find a way to keep going. Roll with me.
Peace and good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Olivia, and today I want to talk about something that I think we can all relate to at some point, and that is taking things personally. Whether it's something someone said or did, or how we feel about how others are treating us, it's so easy to let those things affect us deeply. But here's the truth. Not everything is about you, and not everything should be taken personally. So I wanted to briefly talk about this and talk about why we do this, how to protect your peace, and how to start shifting your perspective so you can feel more grounded and at ease. Excuse me. When we take things personally, we're giving away our power. We're letting the words or actions or whatever of someone else dictate how we feel about ourselves. And honestly, that's exhausting. Like, it is exhausting. It's draining. And sometimes it leads to anxiety, self-doubt, and resentment. And it causes us to start questioning ourselves based on someone else's behavior or words. I mean, I'm guilty of it, right? I get it. It feels like super personal when someone judges you, criticizes you, or even just doesn't respond the way you want them to. But the truth is, those reactions are often more about them than they are about you. People's actions and words are shaped by their own experiences, their own perceptions, and their own stuff, their own issues. So instead of taking things personal, what can we do instead? Well, first of all, we can recognize that everyone is carrying their own baggage. So when someone snaps at you, judges you, or acts in a way that feels hurtful, it's often a reflection of their own struggles or insecurities. It's not a direct attack on you. It's just how they're seeing the world in that moment. So it's super important that we learn how to shift our perspective. When you stop taking things personally, you start to free yourself from unnecessary emotional weight. You allow people to have their feelings, and you don't have to take on their emotions as your own. Like, this is something that I am legit working on. Because I'm very sensitive to energies, right? And it's like, before the day is gone, I realize I've taken something super personal. It's like, you know what? That had nothing to do with me, right? So how do we protect our peace when things feel personal? Well, first, it's super important to set boundaries. You don't have to absorb every comment or action that comes your way. If someone says something hurtful, you don't have to internalize it. You can acknowledge that it happened, but try to choose not to let it affect your sense of self-worth. Okay? Like, it's also about reminding yourself that you are enough regardless of what others think or say. Your value isn't determined by someone else's approval, because ultimately you get to decide who you are, what you believe, and how you feel about yourself. So this morning in my journal time, I wrote down some things that are helping me change this habit of taking things personally, and hopefully they'll help you too. So the first thing is to pause and reflect, right? When something happens, take a pause, take a breath before reacting. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this really about me? Because you know what? It might not be. And give yourself time to process before you let your emotions take over and you do something or say something you'll regret. 2, don't assume intentions. Remember, you don't know what's going on in someone else's mind. And just because someone is rude or distant doesn't mean it's about you. People have their own reasons for moving the way they move, right? Just to share a personal story, I think me and my best friend, one of my best friends, we've been friends 20 plus years, and there were times when I would call or text and she wouldn't respond, and I didn't hear from her, and I'm like, dang, what did I do? Did I do something? Did I say something? And one day she sent me a message and said, hey, sometimes I'm not in a space to talk and I just need a minute to myself. You didn't do anything wrong. Sometimes I just don't want to be bothered, right? And that makes me think of that Monica song, just one of those days. What she say? Just one of those days that a girl goes through. When I'm angry inside, don't want to take it out on you. Just one of those days, don't take it personal, right? So it's good advice. I'm gonna have to link that song somehow, but it's good advice. Don't assume. People have their own stuff going on. And you know what? I appreciated that reassurance and that conversation with her, because moving forward, it really helped me not take those moments when we haven't been able to talk or catch up or connect personal, right? Another thing we can do to help stop taking things personal is to focus on what you can control. You can't control how others act, but you can control how you respond. And that is a lesson I'm learning by way of 5-year-old, because as much as I want to control how she acts, I can't. But I do realize that when I respond to her from a place of calm, a place of love, it helped changes things quite a bit, right? It helped changes things drastically, because I know it can escalate real quick if I don't. And I know that she's not doing things to intentionally irritate me or piss me off, or she's just having a moment. She's having her own little whatever, right? And it is what it is. And the final thing is, you have to release the need for approval, right? One of the biggest traps of taking things personally is the need for external validation. Let go of that need and learn to validate yourself, because honestly, your worth comes from within you. Okay? So hopefully those tips will help, because these are things I'm going to have to remind myself of daily to change that habit of taking things personally. At the end of the day, protecting your peace is a choice. You get to decide how much of other people's negativity, judgment, baggage, stuff that you're going to allow in. Don't let someone else's words or actions define how you feel about yourself. You have the power to choose peace, joy, and self-worth no matter what happens around you. So, as we approach the end of 2024 and walk into 2025, let's try our best to stop taking everything personally. Let's choose to rise above the noise and keep our energy positive and grounded, because honestly, you all deserve to feel at peace with yourself, regardless of how others act. Because we all know others will act a donkey. And you gotta let them, you gotta protect your peace. That's all I have. As always, if you have any questions, comments, feedback, drop it in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content. And share it with a friend. And don't take it personal if they tell you to get out their face. Just joking. As always, I love you all.